Hi, so good morning, Officer Pina.
Good morning.
I just wanted to talk to you as Carolyn Jones, our Assistant Principal of Curriculum and Instruction, will shortly be giving a presentation on our new Code of Conduct for 2018-2019. As the building principal here at Tucson High Magnet School, some of the violations that we do see our students engage in are obviously social media is a big part of their life. So one particular question that I wanted to ask you is if you could please share for our students the consequences of engaging in any sort of sexting or inappropriate pictures that they may post on any type of social media website.
So, first of all, my name is Patrick Pina. I'm the School Resource Officer here at Tucson High. I'm proud to be here since December. To answer your question, sexting and social media is really big right now throughout everywhere. And one thing that could happen is if you send a picture that's inappropriate, you will be arrested for that. It could be a Class 3 misdemeanor. It could be 4 months to 6 months in jail. And depending on how many times you send that picture out, it's for each picture that's sent. And also, if you're 18 and you send someone a picture of someone that's under age of 18, that's a Class 5 felony, and it could be up to 17 years in prison. So it's very, very important that if you do receive or any kind of picture that you let school officials know, and we have to investigate police-wise the circumstances of that.
And so just to clarify for students, oftentimes, we do have teenagers here that, date one another, and sometimes that relationship does not work out and they break up. Mm-hmm. And sometimes those breakups aren't cordial. And I have experienced situations where either the male or the female then use pictures as a means of revenge or, to get back at the ex-boyfriend or girlfriend. So can you talk a little bit more about that?
So in regards to that, we have a thing that's called revenge porn. And revenge porn is a Class 5 felony if you send it to somebody in that type of way, and it could be up to a year in prison for that. So revenge porn happens a lot, and you have to be very, very careful on the stuff that you receive and you send out.
Okay. I'd also like to talk about some students are surprised to learn that if you are the one sending the pictures, more often than not, it usually is females sending, certain body parts or inappropriate pictures of themselves. Is there any consequence to the person who is sending it?
Yes, there's also a consequence. It could be Class 3 misdemeanor for that, and depending on how many times you send it, or for one instance, if you send it on Facebook, and all those friends that the person has, all those friends that have seen it, it's each time you send it, and it's whoever is able to view it. So if the person has like 400 and some friends, and you send it to them, and they're all able to look at it, that could be 400 and some counts of image that you sent that was inappropriately. So 400 some counts for each is a lot. Very, very not good at all. Okay.
So just to recap for our students, one thing that we want to make clear, it is also a violation of our code of conduct, and there also can be school consequences along with criminal consequences, legal ramifications, as you've heard Officer Pina recite here today. A second violation that we see often is cyberbullying. So many students feel that when they are in the comfort of their own home, or they are using their own technology, such as a cell phone or a computer, that they have no consequences here at school when they're using that to either incite a fight or to bully or verbally threaten other students or perhaps make fun of other students. So I'd like Officer Pina, that's also a big issue here on campus that leads to a lot of fights and victims of bullying. So if you can please tell me the legal ramifications.
So cyberbullying is something that's online threat or harassment or intimidation of somebody, and everyone perceives a threat differently. Each individual perceives a threat differently. So I perceive a threat differently than Ms. Rodriguez would perceive a threat differently. So if you do start cyberbullying and you start threatening online, and it turns out you could be arrested for that. It could be 6 months in jail, a $2,500 fine, and also if it's both the misdemeanor harassment and also misdemeanor threatening, you could combine those charges and you could be charged double for that. So you have to be really pay attention to what you are sending out, and when you have an issue with somebody, that's not the way to address it, is by doing it online. You have to talk to one of us and let us deal with the issue before it gets out of that hand.
Thank you. So to add to that, in addition to what Officer Pena has talked about in terms of legal consequences for the school, it is also a violation. It's a level 3, possibly 4, depending on the severity of the threat. You could be looking at in-school suspension, out-of-school suspension, and as Officer Pena suggested, any time that there's a conflict between you and another student, that should be handled maturely and responsibly, either through mediation or coming to report it to an adult immediately. So again, we want our students to realize how serious these 2 infractions are. One is the sexting and inappropriate pictures, either being sent or receiving and sharing. And the second issue that we want to make very clear is the cyberbullying. Just because, again, you are in the comfort of your own home or behind your own phone using it, and it does transfer and cause conflict on school grounds, it is considered portal to portal, and we may impose discipline, not only here at the school, but as you've heard the officer say, through our law enforcement as well.
Just to add on the misdemeanor part of it is, if someone feels threatened through cyberbullying, they have almost, if it's a misdemeanor, 6 months to a year. They don't have to press charges at that time, but if they do decide to, they have 6 months to a year. So you don't want that hanging over your head for 6 months to a year. If it's a felony, then it's up to 7 years they have for prosecution.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And then a final issue I would like to talk about. As you know, we take violence and gun violence very seriously, not only at our school but nationwide. We have seen all of the tragedies that have taken place. So one thing I would like to also remind students about is any threat that you see either posted on social media that you hear about, you need to report that immediately. And Ms. Jones in her presentation will be sharing more information on that. But Officer Pena is a resource that will definitely want to communicate any possible threat that you hear or see about to him or to an administrator or adult here on campus. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.